Shalom and welcome to another video. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a woman who basically went on a first date and had this to say after the man gave her some gifts.
We went like on some little walk by the pond, real cute. And the next day, he sent me like a full spa care package. For what?
Uh-oh. Like what?
I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Care
A
package?
spa care package. I'm talking about like facials, deep stone massage, everything after one date. That right there is a red flag to me now. Like when people start giving you big packages and big presents like so early on, that's a red flag. That's the beginning of love bombing.
What? What do you want? What do you want? Seriously. Like it's like a real question that I have. And what is love bombing? Like people just creating they just love to hear themselves talk. They're creating all these vocabulary words. I remember the other day I saw a trad wife. I'm like, what the hell is a trad wife? I'm like, wait, oh, traditional wife. Yo, y'all, can we really have an intervention here? Like, do y'all really have nothing to do for real? Because I noticed that in this time people we didn't really these generations didn't really see nothing. Okay, there was slavery, there were wars, people seeing people's heads blown off in front of their face. There are all type of traumatic experiences that people have went through in history, but this generation of people is just like, y'all didn't go through nothing, so you sit around with microphones and talk shows and then talk about nothing. They talk about absolutely nothing and create problems out of nothing. Literally, you create issues out of nothing. You hear this woman? Okay, she doesn't. She you can tell she has nothing really to that really. I'm not gonna say she ain't went through her own little traumatic experiences because clearly you had to have gone through something to be that mentally unhinged. But something like real, like you not really going through no real struggle continually in life for you to really sit there and be like, oh, that's a red flag. Like he gave me a spa package. Yeah, with everything, the facial and everything like that. I mean, what's the difference between him going and taking you out to go eat? Cause I'm sure, just looking at you, that you went out to eat or whatever the case is at some point, or maybe you didn't. You said you walked on the pond or whatever, which is beautiful. That's lovely. But what's the difference between a man going and taking you out to go eat or go to the movies and paying for that than him giving you a gift out of kindness? And this is brings me to the next point, is why their men end up turning into monsters. I'm just gonna be honest. And the same thing with women too, because it's not just I'm not pandering to one side or whatever the case is. Men and women, they're both the issue here. But just going off of just this scenario and in general, all right, whether it's the man doing it to the woman or the woman doing it to the man, it's like this is why there are people that become savage. This is why there are people that say, oh, I'm not spending money. There's men that I don't spend money on women. It's either we go half and half or da da da, and that's because this that and the third, and you don't know what they've been to. And that's why there's black men that choose, ain't all of them, but that there are some of them that do, because they went through the traumatic experiences with their mother, with their sister, with their friend, and now they're just, I'm not saying that's like a really a valid reason. You're just meeting clearly the wrong people, the wrong black people. But it's like, it's you can't be too mad at it though, because it's like, well, I see where you're coming from, because this is what you're seeing at the moment and you're reacting off of it, whether it be just emotions or whatever or not. Like it is what it is. So it's like, what, lady, what do you want? What do you want? Because at this point, for the guy, you are the red flag. You are the red flag. And I hope that he took that as an absolute blessing, seeing, oh wow, what, or whatever you did. You probably, ghosted him or whatever the case is, but you probably missed out on a really good opportunity. And a lot of these ladies are going to get hit with a big shock when their looks, especially, she wearing all that makeup, starts to fade underneath that mask. When you start to realize that less and less guys are talking to you, when you start to realize that or at least the guys that you want to talk to you, the same ones that you rejected and easily pushed to the side because you were in your pride, you were deep in your ego, you were deep in lust with your own self, where you feel like nobody's good enough for you, and that you have to be on this stringent overly obsessive, overly compulsive, overly perfectionist, but you're not perfect though at all. And it's just absolutely insane to me that this is something that is going on, because it's like, what do you expect of the man? That was, I feel like I really feel for that guy, because I don't know that person, I don't know that man, but it's like, if you can't even, give a woman that you are attracted to, that you had a good time with, that you had some type of intellectual conversation with, clearly it was a good impression for him to go and get you a gift. Maybe I can't even really say that, because there are a lot of guys out there who will simp for a woman, as far as, you know, pander to a woman, you know, flower her with gifts because they just want the punani. That's about it. Or they're, in lust, right? But still, like, what do you want? Just be single. Just be single. Don't even go bother, because it's like, what do you, would you have liked it if it was, I hate to say this term because it's used so much and it's like cringing now, but but people understand it. Would you rather Pookie come through, all right, and give you a good backhand and tell you to go to go suck this, you know what I'm saying? Like, excuse my language, but would you rather him do that? Would you rather be mistreated? Is that what you want? Clearly, you want Satan. That's what you want, because you don't want the gift. You don't want that. You clearly want to be mistreated, and that's what you're gonna get if that's what you want. Because what do you really? Whatever. It is what it is. Let me not even be, caring about this deeply, but it's just frustrating, because it's like, it's like it's like you're watching someone ruin their chances. It's like, you trying to, it's really coming out from a place of love, because it's like, wow, like, just first of all, wash your face. You don't need all that makeup. Secondly, give people a chance. Stop trying to listen to all, because she's around other women. Stop listening to other women trying to give you advice about, because they single and miserable. So you got to be single and miserable, and be set this standard that's so high. And not only that, not even saying that you can't set a high standard. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to be such a perfectionist when you're not perfect, to the point where you're creating issues. And I'm not a relationship guru, thank God. I do not want to be. It's just the thought of it is like, no, who am I? But I know what not to do, and I know what, and I have that type of this, and I have discernment to know enough that you're wasting your years, because you're, due to the environmental circumstances that you're doing to yourself, you only have but so much time before, because beauty's vain, before the men that you want to talk to you probably won't end up talking to you, or if they do give you the time of day, if they do talk to you, they're not trying to take it as serious. So just be mindful of that. That's why it's important to locate the situation now, create that substance, see if it's really something where it's deeper than just vanity, and go from there. But what do I know? All right. But if you support this type of content, if you support that message, more women need to hear that, and more daughters need to hear that as well, to make sure that they figure themselves out. If you gonna be single, be single, like, all the way, and not even bother to dip into sex. But if you about to do this, go ahead and get a husband. Get a husband if it's really like all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's just is what it is. And there are so many things that I wish I had known. Okay, there was so much advice that I had taken from other women who, a lot of times, if you're a woman, secretly there are women that want you to be lonely, or that want you to be, you know that don't have the best intentions for you, and will give you bad advice because they're miserable, lonely feminists. Okay, you don't want to be in that situation. There's so many things that I wish I had known growing up, that I wish that I, because I have had foreign parents, and that's a whole nother thing. So there were things I didn't really learn about sex that I should have learned about, and about deeper than things that I could talk about on any of these platforms, and would have saved me so much trauma and consequences that I'm dealing with today. So if you do want to show your support, I have written a book just overviewing, basically detailing all of these things. And girls are having their menstruation earlier and earlier. Those conversations, those tough talks are about to come up a little earlier than you had desired or even wanted to, or let alone talk about it all. So this could help the conversation going and have some more awareness, of course, and picking up your Bible, reading, getting discernment, creating a relationship with the Most High. That is number one and the most important. Obviously, that is number one. If you again like this content, if you want to share the message, let YouTube know by subscribing to my channel, hitting that like button, and sharing it with the ones that you love. I love you through Christ. God loves you even more. Peace.